Okay, good. There it is right there. And I'm doing laundry over here now at a relative's house. And I'm moving from here to Vermont because I'm still moving across the country. And I'm here for a while putting books on shelves until I get to where I'm going, to the headquarters in Vermont. And this is I need to get these second edition books published. Second edition of these books published, each of the versions. So this is the Christian book series. The first book is, hang on a second. These I gotta hang up. So I have my dryer going here, and I have, oh, by the way, this is the kind of soap I'm using. If anybody wants to see that, that might be on the thumbnail. But this is not an endorsement of any product. I'm not endorsing any product. Although I am going to say that Tide does do a pretty good job. So yeah, Tide. I don't know. I'm not one of those guys that does all that stuff with the, hey, I'm doing my own sleep study. But yeah, usually I'm happy with this. It works. So, and I had one of those Tide sticks, and that worked also. Okay, so I'm using Tide. And over here, I carry that from where I'm staying, which is a couple blocks up the street. And I'm living in a shed right now. And I'm traveling across the country to put books on shelves. And so I have my timer set for about 55 minutes. And I'll have to walk up the street. I need to do a little bit more I have a meeting today at about 1 o'clock for a fundraiser. I need to, listen, let me tell you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, and we need, capital C Press. I need, if this is what you want to do, then you need to do this. If you want to partner to put books on shelves, if you want to join me and partner with me in putting books on shelves, I'm not here to take any books away from anyone, and I'm not here to put anybody in jail for reading certain kinds of books or distributing certain kinds of books, although I would definitely say certain kinds of books. I would put certain people in jail for distributing some books, absolutely, totally, completely. But I would definitely have a look at that on another program, and I think we all know what I'm talking about. I'm not even going to go there. But I will say this. Mostly, in general, I'm not talking about those kind of books. You all know what I'm talking about. Horrible books. These are books that people shouldn't even have to talk about, but they're horrible. And those books, yeah, I'm totally against those books being out there, and I am completely for anybody that's distributing those books to be put in jail, and anybody that is reading those books or using those books to have an immediate intervention on the part of society to intervene with that person immediately, as soon as possible. But anybody that's making those books, distributing those books, they need to go away in a box. They need to go in and live in a box. And that's just what I think about it. That's all I think. That's all I'm saying about it. That is the only kind of a book that I would say should not be on a shelf. And you can figure that out on your own. But there is a kind of a book that I do think should be on a shelf, and it is any of the books that you see me talking about here that you can get at my book table, or that you can get at online if you search out the books. Just go online, search out the books, search out "This is a Christian Book" by S. Randall S. Lopez. Search out "The Book of the Introduction" by S. Randall S. Lopez. Search out The preface section, part 1. This is a Christian book by S. Randall S. Lopez. And then hashtag the human social media peed. And then hashtag SDGs, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Look, I came over here to do laundry, but I'm also making a video to give you an update on Capital C Press, what I'm doing. I am going across the country putting books on shelves. You can put books on shelves. You can be a partner in this. You can help me put books on shelves across the country. Look, I'm putting books on shelves. I'm publishing books, and I'm giving money away. I'm not living in a mansion. I'm doing my laundry at a relative's house. This is going for him. I'm going to hang this up. I'm using the dryer, so I'm trying to pay my way as I go, doing some handiwork along the way, and I will take odd jobs. And I have a job where I live in Vermont, where I'm going. But let me tell you what I need to get to Vermont. And by the way, let me tell you this too. I'm using Tide, if anybody out there cares to see, and this Tide is not a sponsor of this program. I'm just using it. I'm just using Tide to do my laundry. That's all I'm saying. And Tide does not sponsor this program. But I'm on my way from Southern California to Vermont, and I need to do laundry at my relative's house a couple blocks up the street. And I've got this. This is really nice because you can carry this up the street. This is really nice. And I'm saying we live in this modern age where you can carry a bottle of Tide up the street, and it's easy to carry. You don't have to worry about dropping it, or if you do drop it, it's not going to break because it's plastic. Okay, good. I really like this, and this is a good device here. Really nice, genius. You open up the spout here to let the air in, and then you squeeze this little tab there, and the soap comes out. And that's what I'm using today. Okay, now I need to do my laundry, so I use the Tide. I'm on the way. All these little jobs I got to do. I have the Tide. The Tide is over there where I'm living. But Tide costs money. I'm going to need to buy some more Tide or some more whatever I have. I'm using that over there because that's available. I need to replace it. That is where I'm staying. I'm sharing resources with people that are telling me, hey, you can stay here, you can be here for this amount of time or that short amount of time. And I am contributing as I'm able. But let me tell you what I need. I need $3,200 in my bank account right now. Look, man, you can help. If you want to click on the hashtags, click on the links, look at the books, search the books, buy the books, go to the Patreon page, search the books, search the author, S. Randall S. Lopez. Go to the Patreon page, just click like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Click on the links, leave a comment, whatever. Or you can just write me a check. That's the easiest way. Just write me a check. You know me. You know exactly who I am. You know exactly where I'm at. Write me a check. I need $3,200 in my bank account right now, so I can get from Vermont. So I can get from Southern California to Vermont, so I can do the next phase of this work that I'm doing, which is building this book press, Capital C Press. Listen, this is a Christian book press, specializing in Christian poetry and arts. And art. And then Bible, devotion, study, and teaching. Along with, this is serious Sunday school curriculum for adults. Plus humor and education, generally speaking. And this is a platform to provide access to writers that have not found themselves to be published yet on a Christian press or Christian platform. But you have this message that is a Christian message, and to preach Jesus Christ and to lift up Jesus Christ. And that is what this press is doing, lifting up the name of Jesus Christ and pointing people to Jesus Christ and providing a platform for writers that are Christian writers. And I'm looking for editors, distributors, investors. I'm even looking for mentors and coaches. If you want to be a partner, as I said, you can write me a check. You can go to the Patreon page. You can click on any of the links provided in the description below. I am updating all of my videos on this page, on this channel. Go to the website, go to the web page that you see in any of the descriptions of any of these videos that I'm showing you. I'm providing daily updates as to where I'm at, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how you can help. This isn't rocket science. These are troublesome times we're living in, and I'm not telling everybody the sky is falling, and I'm not calling anybody any names, and I'm not pointing any fingers. Well, I am pointing fingers. I am pointing a lot of fingers because I like to point, but I'm not pointing fingers at anybody and telling anybody that you're my enemy because you have a different opinion than me, or I am now your enemy because I have a different opinion than you. Okay, that's enough of the pointing. No more pointing. But I guess I am pointing fingers at a lot of people. I need to be pointing fingers at me. But don't forget, anytime you are pointing at anybody else, you have 3 fingers pointing back at you. Actually, depends on how you hold your thumb. Okay, now, next thing we got to move on to is how you can support. You can write me a check right now, one person, for $3,200. If I can just have one person could write a check for $3,200, and I wouldn't even need to talk about this anymore. One person, $3,200. Or let's just round it to $3,000. And look, I can tell you what it's for. And this isn't because I'm doing a ministry from God, or God has told me to do something special, and therefore you need to give me money or else. That's not what this is. I'm not even talking about that. You pay your tithes and your offerings to your own church, where you go to church, in your house, in your neighborhood, whatever that is. I don't even care. I'm talking about if you want to be a partner with what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is that I'm putting books on shelves. I'm putting used books on shelves, new books on shelves, capital C press books on shelves, all kinds of books on shelves, free books, paperbacks, novels, dictionaries, reference books, fiction, history, science fiction, religion, philosophy, education, humor, word finds, coloring books. These are for every range, from a donation to 10 cents to a nickel to a quarter to $1 to $5 to $10. Usually nothing's going to be over $10. Now, if something's going to be over $10, it's going to have to have been signed by Steven Spielberg or George Lucas, one of those two guys. If it's not, there's no way any of those books are going to be over $10. I promise you, even the hardcovers. But that's what I'm promoting, is putting books on shelves. And you can come to any of the shows where I'm going to be speaking or performing anything, comedy, nature, if you want to call it that, which I'm not actually doing. I'm not even doing comedy anymore. If I ever thought I was, well, I realize now I wasn't. So if I'm in a town near you, I'll just leave it at that. That's all. That's the only thing I'm going to say. If I'm in a town near you. Okay, there it is. And if I am in a town near you, you can pick up a copy of my book if it's at the table, or you can do the scan and you can buy a copy of the book, or we can talk and you can provide me information as to where I will send you a copy of my book. And I will provide you a copy of my book, and you can either buy a copy of my book, or I will be more than happy to provide a copy of my book to you at no charge to you, including shipping, because I want everybody to have a copy of my books, and I want you to have a copy of my books, and I want you to make copies of my books, and I want you to share copies of my books with all of your friends and with all of your relatives and with anybody that is either a Star Wars fan or is a Christian, is a fan of the Bible or a fan of Star Wars, is a follower of Jesus Christ or a follower of George Lucas. And listen to me, I will explain everything in these books. This book does not tell anybody how to live or what to think or how to act. It explains what society is. Society is a set of rules. And society equals, listen to this, listen to me. Society is a set of rules, and society equals the behavior of the members of society. That is repeated over and over and over again. Okay? And that is definitions, meanings, implications of things. And then the second book is the book of the introduction by S. Randall S. Lopez. And the third book is the preface section, part 1. This is a Christian book by S. Randall S. Lopez. And you can get these books on the website, through the website. You can learn how to get a free copy of these books. You can use the internet to search for the books. Google it. You can use any person that you know that has a copy of the book. They can make a copy of the book. I'm telling you now, if you have a copy of my book, make a copy of my book. Make a copy of my book. Make as many copies as you need of my books. If you have a copy of my book, make as many copies as you want or as you need. And if you have a copy of my book, if you need copies, write me a letter and I'll provide copies as quantities that last and are accessible. Because I'm coming out now with the second edition, which will mean that those of you that have the first edition signed and with the handwritten edits, these will be collector's items, as these are the first editions, which will no longer be available for purchase on the internet platform. Although now I will still be able to purchase these first editions as the author, and I can still provide these to friends if you really want one. But after a certain time, these first editions are going away. And when they go away, they're going to be a collector's item. And you might want to, I don't know, I have a lot of things that I've collected over the years, and this will be a good one. The first edition collector's item. All right. Now, and this will be when the second editions come out. And then you'll be able to get the first editions for a little while, a short time, and then they're gone. So if you want, show up while quantities last. I can give you a hand edit. I can send it to you. You can have it, no charge, or you can buy it. It's up to you. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what you need to do or how you need to think. These books don't do that. These books tell you how society is, what it is, how it operates, and what keeps it going. It's the behavior of the members of society. And now this is wet, and it's getting all of my stuff wet here. And I have this on today because it was kind of cold out here today, and I think it's going to be about it's getting to be about 1 o'clock now, but I think it's going to be around it's going to be just a high of around 50 today. But it's sunny out here, so I have the beanie on because it's cold. I'm doing laundry, as I said. I'm going across the country, but I need $3,200 in my bank account right now. And this could come in one way. Somebody could write me a check now for $3,200, or let's just round it to $3,000. I could have, I could have 10 people. Look, if I just had 10 people, that's all it would require. 10 people, that's it. Think about this. I want you to think about this right now. 10 people, right? 10 people can write me a check. 10 people. Now think about this. can write me a check for $300. Okay? I want you to think about that for just a second. That's not a lot of money for some people, but it might be a lot of money for other people. Or 300 people could write me a check for $10. You see how the number just went down? Now think about this. Let's just keep moving those numbers around. Let's say that 600 people wrote a check for $5, and so on and so forth. And that's how I do math. It's really easy for me to do math like that. Or you can get, let's see, or 12 people, it was 1,200 people to write a check for $250, I think. I'm gonna have to get a calculator on that one. But either way, you get the point. At this moment, I'm just waiting for my laundry to get done. But I need 300 people to write me a check for $10. 300 people to write me a check for $10. 300 people can write me a check for $10. Or 10 people can write me a check for $300. It can be that simple, and so on and so forth. Or one person can write me a check for $3,000. Or one person can write me a check for $2,200, and one person can write me a check for $700, and one person can write me a check for $50, and another person can write me a check for $25, and another person can write me a check for $250, and another person can write me a check for $12.50, I should have said. So it's going to come one way or another. It's going to happen one way or another. You decide, how can you support? What can you do? You decide. I'm not going to be the one to tell you how you are going to support. Or even if you want to. I'm not here to tell you what your motivation is. I'm just here to provide you with this, an opportunity to be a partner with somebody that's providing books, putting books on shelves and not taking books away. I'm not out there saying the sky's falling. I'm not proclaiming the end of the world. I'm not calling anybody any names. I'm not, putting anybody down for their skin color or, the colors of their escalators or anything like that. Nothing like that. Because I'm not here to do that. I am just providing books on shelves. If you want to do that, you want to partner with me, including telling people about the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Look, man, and I got to get these. I got to go hang these up. All I'm doing is just trying to get across the country. I got to get from California to Vermont. And look, it's freezing out there in Vermont. This is true. But I got stuff I got to do. I'm not throwing a party here. I'm traveling across the country and including to other parts of the world. Man, we are planning. We did the International Sustainable Comedy Variety Music and Variety Showcase, and this was in 2023 in Randolph, Vermont, and this next one needs to be in Canada. It needs to be in Montreal. But this is not going to happen unless money moves in a certain direction so people can be in certain places at certain times. And so for 2025, things must happen in certain ways before other things can happen in other ways. Just like I have to carry this soap over here when I go from needing to do my laundry, I use the Tide, and so I carried this Tide over because of the convenient carry. You see, very nice Tide. So when I do laundry, I use Tide. But Tide does not sponsor this program. Tide is not a sponsor of this program. Tide does not sponsor this program. This is not a sponsor of this program. No, I'm serious, it's not. Okay, now, Capital C Press, that's what's happening on that wise. We are coming to a theater near you, a church near you, a pharmacy near you, a local grocery store near you, a bookstore near you. Actually, for reals, we're coming to a local bookstore near you, starting with the Claremont Forum Bookshop in Claremont, California. We have a soon to be put on the calendar book signing, and this is the partnership with Prison Library and Press, putting books in the hands of incarcerated adults nationwide, including Puerto Rico. I assume, I hope, and we're going to look into that. We're going to check into that. But in the meantime, friends, that's it. I gotta go hang this stuff up. That's it. More information on ClaremontForum.org. Okay. Hey, look at that's going to be a good thumbnail right there. All right. I gotta go get this stuff, hang it up. Oh, don't forget, Tide is not a sponsor of this program.